Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to our channel. Destry Wade, homeless surfer here. I'm looking forward to this day ahead of us. Got some stories for you to tell to get started. Kind of give you an idea what's ahead of me today and what other people are facing like me in similar situations um, as we go through this video. Well, please like, subscribe, comment, really comment, please. I want to hear from you guys. It does my heart good. I went viral, man. I got 14 clicks on my last one. So I feel good. That's not even all my friends, you know what I mean? It's like when your mom calls you good looking, you shouldn't really believe it. It's like first couple was just me and a couple friends I called saying, "Hey, go click me." But hey, like I said, got like 14 so far. That's the last time I checked. But I take the advice of the other YouTubers like Kevin Colby, who says, don't check every day; it'll drive you crazy. So I'm gonna leave it alone because actually, and again, not to lose the point, but stay tuned because what we have going on, I took a big step in the last couple days since I've talked to you guys last, keeping in mind that my mission on turning this into a venture that will support me is using the writing that is available through the writing assistance that's available through AI. I don't have to type. I can actually verbally tell it my novel, which works for me because writing, I'm a real sloppy writer, not very good typer. I make more typos than anything and have to go back and so basically I have to do it 2 or 3 times to get it right. So AI's helped me do that. And again, like I said, a lot of this video production stuff is based um, on using the AI to make it happen. So towards the end of this conversation here, I'm going to show you the books that I made. They're really awesome. They're coming out. They're going to be available. See, that's just great. Relatively speaking, you can get this thing done in a relatively short period of time compared to many other situations I've been in as far as startups go. So anyway, I'm gonna go through those with you and show you a couple of those things. But going back to me, the kind of the point is today. Interesting day ahead of me. I feel like I went for a jog and somebody starts throwing boulders out in front of you. You're gonna get tripped up. Um, I have to go down and try to convince the housing commission that I shouldn't have to go live outside again after 3 years since they put me in here from the hospital from COVID to stay. And then because of unreasonable situations, which they expect us to understand, which we don't. And that's how they get you. They really, when they decide they're going to make an adjustment or whatever, and you're in that group that's being adjusted out, you're going to get adjusted out. It's just the way it is. So, I don't want to get into politics and all that because there's no point. But bottom line is, a lot of people are getting adjusted out right now, so they can adjust other people in, and it's an ongoing cycle because now they've got they're going to start the NGOs again, and they're going to start funding all the new people coming in who need services and goods, and some will be good and some won't be. Some will be fraudulent and some won't be. But anyway, so today I have to go down to the San Diego Housing Commission and prove that I shouldn't have to die on the streets. Which, like I said, this whole thing's homeless. I've been homeless for 10 years. I'm not tripping. So looking at it like that, it allows me to keep my attitude in a decent place because I've already been there. It's not like I'm going somewhere new. Yeah, it sucks. It really does. It's not like I said before, it's not I'll just hang out in the day, drink in the evening, sleep on the beach at night, get up and surf and shower and then do it again. No, it doesn't work like that, man. Just showering can be a real nightmare. A real nightmare. What do you do with your stuff if you want to try to get off? That's what people don't realize is when you want to try to get off the street, you got all your stuff. You can't take that to a job interview. You look like a fool, and it's hard to get to a job interview. Now there is people that help you, and if you know your resources, and hopefully through the process of this series that I'm making, I'll teach you and show you where the various resources are and what you need to look for if you unfortunately find yourself in this crazy position. Um, anyway, as I start this thing up and try to pull everything back together. That's kind of the journey I'm on. The whole the whole hope of this thing is to show that people over 40 can start over, people at 60 can start over. You're not done until you're done. So I'm not done, but I do want to do some things, go back and take care of some old business that needs to be taken care of. To step back up and show that, show, I don't know if it's me wanting to show off or not. It's not that. I want to prove that where I ended up is where I ended up because I chose to be there. I'm not an idiot. It wasn't an accident. I walked in there. So, excuse me. Quick story off subject. I've never had an allergy in my entire life of any sort when it comes to hay fever. My father passed away about a year and a half ago now, right around that, maybe two. Um, but bottom line is, as soon as he passed on, I've got allergies. The same ones he had, the spring allergies. Oh my God, and they're harsh because I have COPD. So when I get the allergies kicking on top of the COPD, oh, so excuse me if I break down coughing because, like I said, I don't have the ability yet to cut and edit this stuff. I'm getting there. I've actually, like I said, I've done some testing. I know what I'm going to get. It is going to be cool because we can, if I have a brain fart, like I said, I can cut it out. Otherwise, we can't. So that's going to help. The other thing it's going to help me do is like split the screen and show you other stuff because I've been watching some YouTube channels. I like to do that. I like to be able to. It's almost like a whiteboard over here. Like, okay, we did this month, this week, this week. This here's where we got. Here's our revenues, man. Here's what we're looking at. I'm counting on you guys too to help me build this thing. Like I said, the book sales for sure. They're kids' books. They're rock. I'm going to show you some of them. Like I said, I got like 40 of them already. The only thing slowing me down is because I'm still on free AI. I can only get 8 images a day, and each book is 11 images deep. So it takes me a day and a half just to get one image, and that's like all day telling it do all the instructions and let it run. If I was on the next level, I can do like what do they say, 50 images a day. So that's 5 books, almost 4 books for sure a day, which would be good. I can handle that, but I got to get the $20 to pay for that. Luckily, I've already got my debit card, so I can utilize that to put it on and then get it on there. The Riverside is the other one that, and I'm promoting these people. I was going to do this. I want them to pay me to do promoting these people. Um, is Riverside. And so far in my investigations and messing around with like the demos and stuff, I think I can handle that one. And that will just give me the ability to, like I said, to cut in live action. By the way, I did figure that one out as well, so I can take uh, my live action off my phone and download it to this thing. Now I got to get to figure out the software where I can feed that in and show you what's happening out there and kind of they call it a B-roll. Okay, so I'm learning, man. See, I'm learning. I'm picking up the lingo. It's like when I became a mortgage broker for a while back in the early 2000s when everybody all of a sudden became a mortgage broker and with no licensing whatsoever. But you had to pick up the lingo. You know what I mean? You had to know the APR and spell premium and hey, what's your origination rate? And once you learn that lingo, man, you were in. And it was horrible, as we saw. Anyway, so moving forward, um, going over some of the couple things as far as the homeless side of this homeless surfer adventure. Homelessness is tough. It's not what they make it. It's not what they tell you though. It's very very different um, for most people. Um, see, here's the brain farts again. Oh, that's what I was going to talk to you guys about. The problem is about with homelessness is the reason you get there. Most of the reason you get there is you burn a lot of people along the way, or you make a lot of people angry at you along the way, where you don't have anywhere to go. So you end up on the streets. Bottom line is, when you lose your when you've done enough foolishness to lose your family and everybody that loves you, unless you're unfortunate and you just had a situation where your family all passed, which is hey, there's stories like that out here. My whole family was killed and I had nowhere to go. The house got taken. So, I totally understand that that does happen. But I think for the most part, a lot of us that end up out here on the street basically do so because we just hurt everybody that loved us. Primarily, for and that's another funny thing about today. I'm gonna go sit before a judge. Judges crack me up that way. First time I ever stood before a judge after doing a major drug run, and screwing my whole life up. Not forget my family, I'm doing drugs. Forget my brothers and sisters, I'm doing drugs. Forget my kids, I'm doing drugs. You know, nothing mattered. Them, all the pain I caused them, so I could do this. And then you go before a judge and he thinks he can tell you, don't do drugs. Come on, man. By the time you get before that judge, 90% of the time, you've already sold your soul because drugs are low. That's the problem with them. You can keep them low key for quite a while until all of a sudden it owns you, man, and it's over with. And that does happen out here on the street. That's one of the hugest contributors to getting here, besides mental illness. But I'll also say this: being from California, being out here my whole life, the reason that there's so many homeless out here is threefold things happen almost simultaneously. Um, in the 20, yeah, I'd say 2015, 2016 range. There's always been a lot of homeless people out here in California for one huge reason, and it should be the most obvious reason in the world. It's the weather. If you're gonna be homeless, why would you want to be homeless in freaking somewhere where there's 6 feet of snow you got to walk through and 14 degrees? It doesn't have a place to sleep outside. If you want to sleep outside and do your thing, California is great for that. It doesn't get too cold at night. It doesn't get too hot in the day. There's a lot of canyons and forests and beaches and all kind of places to sleep. So yeah, people migrate. A lot of the dudes from various, my crew is the crew I've showed you, called us the Black Jackets, but that group, there's other people outside of that group, and that we knew. You interact with a lot of people, and a lot of them were never from here. New Orleans, when the flood happened in Katrina, whatever that was, we had all of a sudden a huge flood of homeless New Orleans people come through. They all went back home as things changed. Most of them have gone back, or the others that there are some that settled here and stayed here, and hey, it's fine. Um, the other one, the big one though, that really threw things into a loop, was when they started closing the jails and or the prisons primarily. Two things happened: when the prisons closed, the bad guys got put into the jails, so therefore the jails got overfull. So therefore, a lot of they had to release a lot of people. And here's the problem with that: it's pitch dude. I'm so stoked when I got released from prison. Best day of my life, really. It almost made the 8.5 years worth it, just because of that feeling when you walked out. Weird story, huh? But that's a true one. But anyway, um, most people coming out of there don't got nowhere to go. They used to give you $100. They don't even do that anymore, man. You get nothing. They say, oh, there's programs. There are programs. BS. There's not programs. Number one. Number two, whatever they say is out there. No, it's just further jail down. It's just a further outside the prison and jail over here. And even worse, because here you got a bunch of like counselors and experts, and you know, um, they're gonna tell you what to do. And you just came from prison and you're now all of a sudden got this dork over here telling me no. It doesn't work well. It really doesn't. It's just like the aggregate tents, they throw 100 beds into one big tent and it's guarded by a bunch of idiot homeless dudes that are kissing ass, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So that part of homelessness, with your money that's paying for those tents, nah, nope, they're horrible. Oh, they're horrible. You go in there, and they're insane, they're peed, they're pissing themselves. And the tragic thing is okay. We talked about the jail and the prison thing. The freaking hospital release thing is even worse. A huge percentage of the people that are out here in this street right now came out of the hospital after a stroke or a heart attack, literally in a hospital gown and a pair of sweats that they give you so your ass doesn't hang out, and a little plastic bag full of a few, like the piss thing, that thing you're supposed to pee in. Yeah, they give you one of those. Um, and a walker, aluminum walker, and put you at the bus stop in front of the hospital. That is not a lie. That is a fact. My friend Amy, who saved me, she's an advocate. Like I think I've talked about her before. Her and Joanne, I knew them or Amy for sure, all the way from high school. And yeah, she used to tell me those stories. And I was like, nah, they can't even do that. They're legally not allowed to do that, but they do. And so that's that's and then they throw crazy stuff like they're gonna kick me out of here. Right? Here's some insanity. You go and you watch the news, and this is what I love about this thing, dude. We get to really talk. The news is so full of shit. I ran a charity in this town. I'll tell you what, they are full of shit. News. As far as the way they do their stuff, they angle it, they can create it. And on that situation that I'm talking about with the charity, they blew that thing up. They made it something that it never was and never was meant to be, which was too big for 19109 with 19,000 houses. It wasn't supposed to be what they made it out to be. So I understand from the mainstream media, if you get they'll really screw you. They won't tell you the truth. Sorry. No, the truth is that stuff just doesn't work. Um, and where was I now? Oh, and so I've got to go. I'm not a hospital guy, but I got lucky. I got blessed. They're picking me out of the hospital, and I'm gonna go to the street. But I got a day to find somebody, and I couldn't remember because I just came out of a coma like 30 days earlier. Couldn't remember my daughter's phone number, who lives here in San Diego, and it's my caretaker now. Comes around and helps me. But I had to find her, so I found her. Thank God, the nurse that I was talking to, because I'm sitting there trying to write down numbers with no memory of what my daughter's number was, and the nurse comes in and goes, "Oh, I know your daughter. She's been here like you've been in the coma 6 months. She comes every week and sees you." Like, oh my God, I didn't even know all that. That was news to me. So anyway, she goes, "Here's her number." So I call her. She calls my friend Amy. And Amy says, "See, I told you that's what they were going to do to you." Weird thing was because COVID was going on, they weren't, they didn't want no one in the streets. They were trying to just clear the streets for once. So they went and bought hotels, rented hotels, blah, 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 had the convention center going on. So when I first came out, they stuck me in a hotel for about a month, and then this place finished up in February. So they moved me in here, right? Thank God. I was so grateful. I'm good. That's why I want the split screen because I was on the news. I was all over the news. For some reason, I had the look to talk to that homeless dude. He didn't look like he was going to kill you. So, they come over and talk to me, and I'd explain kind of what was going on and how grateful I was, and still am. I mean, even if they do kick me out of here, I'm grateful because you know what? I got 3 years here and I healed. I healed from that. I didn't have to sleep in the street. That would have killed me. No freaking doubt. And it still probably will because the air is so freaking wet down here on the beach and anywhere that I go. My lungs fill with fluids. So it like I said, I wish they'd just come out and get the balls to kill you instead of torture you. Because that's what they do. So anyway, I was blessed to be here, and I am blessed to be here. And I'm hoping that I can go down and fight it out to stay here. But if not, we'll figure it out. but like I said, the yeah. Anyway, oh, so what I did want to go over. Sorry, we lost that thing for a moment. See, I got a subject so easy, don't I? So I was talking about this place. So they put me in here, and this is called for me. It was called no income housing because I'm currently battling with disability to get my disability, which I so much wish I could go back to work. Which is why, dude, this thing's gonna change. This is a game changer. Again, I'm gonna pump up the AI and something that I avoided my whole life is a computer, but man, it is a game changer because I can work because I can sit here in this chair. I don't have to walk and breathe. Just I'd much rather go back and work because sitting home all day, you know what you do? You end up talking to your dog, your TV set, and the mailman. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't want to become my great grandma. So, um, but anyway, hopefully I can stay here. We're gonna have to go down, like I said at the beginning of this. I'm going down to the housing commission and argue them, uh, argue with them, file some paperwork, see what's going to happen. We'll keep abreast on that. But the system, if they want to fix this stuff, what good's that going to do? Throw my ass back out. Anyway, we'll see. They say one thing. Oh, that's where I lost my train of thought. Now it's back, but probably don't. Anyway, the media says in one breath that everybody's working, and these are the politicians the media is talking to. We want to get the homeless out. We want to get the homeless out. Then all of a sudden they want to kick me out. Now if they kick me out, here's the crazy thing. They've made it now where again. Now keep in mind I was homeless for like 10 years. There was periods in there where the police would come up if you're sleeping, they'd arrest you. I mean, it's kind of cyclical based on what's going on politically. It really is. It comes down to that. We're the pawns that they get to use. Sometimes in those series, there's a year or two where they arrest you, and literally, man, I've gone to jail in my freaking underwear because I was laying in my sleeping bag on the beach, and they just grab you up and take you to jail. Leave your stuff. They didn't have to mess with your stuff. After COVID was worse because when they had COVID, they wouldn't touch your stuff. And because of the disease, the state made it say, they said, okay, no, you don't have to touch their dirty stuff. So they didn't have to check your shit in, which could be your ID, which is usually your IDs, all that kind of stuff gets lost because of their interaction with you. And they're supposed to be helping you. And what's worse is a lot of cases they created you, sticking you out of a hot. You're retired, you're ill, you're not well, you're mentally ill, you're on drugs. They stick you out there and then condemn you for being there. So it's a tough battle. And if I had my dreams, someday we will turn this little book venture that I'm doing into a best-selling situation, and then from there we'll go do some fun stuff like show you how to take care of this. It is doable. I think I got this crazy idea with this thing to take and get kind of I compare it to a rehab because if you walk into a rehab, you got the reception area, the kitchen in the back, and you've got like the dorm over here. It's 20, 30 beds in a room, double beds type of thing. I would say get something like that, put AI in there, teach these guys how to do AI, and I bet you will come up with some amazing things that are created by them, A, and B, show them how to get the hell off the streets for their own good and let this thing make their money. I really believe that is something that I'm hoping this is part of this test that I can prove out. So yeah, but with the homeless thing, part of the reason I do got to get that split screen Riverside, edit and stuff because I do want to show you what it is like out there, and I want you to meet those people. The ones I know, there's a lot of them. I live here in this building, St. Teresa's downtown, but and it's they call it. We used to call it low bottoms back in the day. It was low bottoms. It was what do they call that? Skid Row. We don't really. Nobody has that anymore. I guess we don't. We got areas. We got camps for sure, but there's no Skid Row. This is just a high area, and also what happens too in a lot of these areas is they put different cultures here, and people don't get the cultures that are here. Some groups like to just hang out and chat on the corner. That's what they do. It's not that they're causing trouble, but unfortunately, trouble blends in. So you know how that works. But anyway, so that's that situation. Now here's the deal. Um, with setting that aside, see, like I said, I want to inform you in various avenues as we go through this. Hopefully, more motivational than anything is what I want you to feel. Hopeful, um, give you that hope because hope's everything. You've got to feel hope, man. If you get up, I can't imagine, and I do. I can't imagine. That's wrong. What people go through when they get up day in and day out and never find any hope. Hope is so important, dude. Even if you look at it and say there's nothing in the world besides me, the hope of a good day or a better life is what makes you get up and go. So when you start at zero, the hope for a better life isn't hard to find. And I think based on that hope for a better life that I'm looking at and saying, hey, I got 25 years here. God knows maybe more. As crazy and alcoholic and addicted as I was, I never stopped working out. I lifted weights, I swam. I mean, I like the good drug addict alcoholic that I was. When I work out, motherfucker, I work out. I'm a 2, 3 hour a day guy, twice a day. I was going there, my morning workout was swim a mile to start, um, do a sweat out, get sweating so bad that it was just dripping off my t-shirt. I was that dude. Then I'd go out and this is back in Gold's Gym too. And then take my drippy ass t-shirt off and just have my sweaty body and go out and do weight sets, pig iron, just heavy, 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 hard, hard, hard. Then go out and stretch and then leave 2.5 hours. Go to work all day, come back for another hour at night because my wife had to work at night. So I had more time on my hands and didn't have any kids yet. Even when I had kids, I just took the kids with me. So back at night, go back in there, and I do a high intensity workout on a different set of muscles. And I had this rotating thing going on. It was just ridiculous. Like I said, as a good drug addict, alcoholic that I am, I worked out like this in the same way. So that is why I think I might have some time. We'll see. But like I said, the lungs are really bad, and the heart didn't help. But I drank myself to the heart attack. Stopped drinking, which I've done, eliminates most of the risk of that. The oxygen level, however, can hurt the heart. So, being that you have a kind of a damaged heart, you got to take care of the lungs. I'm thinking, I always had this crazy thought that why didn't Marlboro Miles be like a lung replacement savings account? You get those miles, save up enough of them, boom, we give you a whole new set of lungs. Lung trade out. Marlboro would be great. You could keep smoking too. You can go back and smoke a whole other lifetime. Yeah, that's what you should do. But, you know, I don't bitch about smoking and about this COPD and about what's going to happen because of it, because that's bullshit. I hate people that do that. Don't tell me, because I'm 62. In 1964, when I was born, from the time I could read a pack of cigarettes, which trust me, as little kids, you're always picking up cigarette boxes and shit, it said smoking can kill you. The Surgeon General has warned that smoking may be hazardous or is hazardous to your health. Then they got real direct, like smoking can kill you. And then if you ever get Mexican cigarettes, there's pictures on there of people with tracheotomies. Oh, it's horrible. They have been very clear to you, me, and everyone else. Smoking's bad. It's gonna kill you. And it's not going to kill you. Life's going to kill you. You're born to die. Life is going to kill you. You're not getting out alive. But what you choose to do with that health is up to you. So don't be mad if you get to 60 years old after 45 years of smoking cigarettes on a daily basis, including other substances as well over the years, and wonder why you can't breathe. So that's one of my attitudes that I carry through my life. My choices are mine. I made them. Man up and own them. Woman up and own them. Cowboy up and own them. Own your choices. You don't have to die with them. You can change your choice, but you do have to pay. You get the rewards, or you get the consequences, or you get the things that happen because of your choices. Don't blame the things that happen on what you chose. That is so wrong of you, and you will never be a happy person because you can't be. You're always going to blame somebody else. Don't blame. Whatever's wrong, take it all the way back to the root, and you'll probably find, for the most part, and keep in mind, there's always exceptions. I know things that we could talk about that have nothing to do with your self responsibility, and I accept that. But also, most things that we're doing are our responsibility. Success is our choice. Failure is our choice. There's an old saying about what um, if you either can or you can't. Depends what you're the one that's going to decide. Go, 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 fly. We got this. So anyway, that's kind of the philosophical part of this channel today. What I am going to do in the future, though, is I'm going to start kind of dividing this up into some segments. Hopefully, let me know as I do that which segments you guys like. Excuse me, I think I'm losing my nose. Trim my nose hair. You ever do that? You trim your nose hair and then all of a sudden your nose runs all the time? Yeah. Like I said, thanks to my dad, all of a sudden I have freaking allergies that I never had in my life. I think he passed away and left them to me. That was my inheritance. After my life, that's the way I interact. That's probably what I deserve. But yeah, it's been really dry and freaking deserty out here the last couple of days. You can, oh, I can feel it. But anyway, so that's kind of I'm going to divide it up into segments, and I want you to tell me which segments you like, which what I can do better. I want to make this is ours, man. This is ours. This is a way we can talk and share, and hopefully that's what we're going to do. So the whole point is to grow this into something that that people enjoy. You know, geez, why not? This isn't what I started out to do, but I do love it. I think it's cool. I'm a ham, so I don't mind sitting on camera. And you can offer to kill me or whatever. If you say something you don't like, that's fine, whatever. Sticks and stones, baby, sticks and stones. Anyway, so just to finish up on this episode, I told you I had something cool for you. I do now. It's going to be rough to show you this. So I'm going to try to do it like right. Let me see here. Oh no, where's my books? Uh-oh. What do you know it? Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Uh, uh, oh, there it is. I had it. I had it. Okay. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. Sorry. Bear with me. Okay. Look at this. Like I said, I think it's kind of rough to see. Yeah, it really is. Let's see if I can bring it down. Anyway, darn it. I really wanted to show you this. I made the slide book. So this thing, whoop, is now the slide book. It's going to be online, and you're going to be able to buy it at Amazon. So this is my announcement. Here's my big weekly announcement. I told you I had something big for you. This stuff's going to be heading out to Amazon and a bunch of other places. You're supposed to be able to find it anywhere. It's going to be in Flipbook. I'm gonna change this to where once it flips like this because I like it. It looks really cool. I ran into that in the editing software that I've been playing with. And then also read a book or read along, whatever, where you get the book read to you. Like I said, where the parents just give you the kids the iPad and go here, hit this button, and they go away. Yeah, don't really like that. But anyway, they need them. And then the last one will be the hard copy. My goal is really to create some hard copy sets that we're going to be able to use in a whole bunch of different educational formats. Really put some time and effort into this recreation of primary and education. You know, preschool on through your early elementary school days, where you're still that's still the innocence phase, and it's the Disneyland phase. You know, and that's what I want to create with this project is that is have fun, fantasize. You know, God, my mom used to give us a trash bag and a stick, and oh, we gosh darn, we were pirates, having pirate fights, and all of a sudden the porch became a freaking pirate ship, and man, that's what we did. Went out riding our bikes, and all of a sudden we're Evil Knievel or Roger DeCoster riding the freaking BM or the motocross circuit, or we were jumping like Evil Knievel over trash cans. Fonzie was out then too. I was 12 when that shit happened. When they jumped the shark. But before they jumped the shark, Fonzie nailed 10 trash cans at Arnold's. He crashed on that one too. No, he landed the shark, but he crashed on the 10 trash can thing. So we did that. We actually tried that shit. I made 10 trash cans on a bike, brother. A bicycle. Anyway, so yeah. So that's what we really want to build. It's something, when I grew up with Little House on the Prairie and the Waltons, and shows that, man, let's just sit around as a family and watch. And this is what this world needs. We need our families. That's what we have. Take it from somebody that's walked away. Um, you need your family, man. You're always going to need them. You're always going to miss them. No matter how long you're away, you'll always miss them. So remember that part. So that's what this is about, man. This is about people that have families and hopefully can sit down together as a family, like mine once did, and just laugh and enjoy it. enjoy it, being together. All right, dudes, that's enough. Next time we'll talk about the surfer side, because that's way cooler, you know? And so you start understanding about the homeless surfer and the character that I am in that situation. Ah, I love it. God's blessed me and life's blessed me, and oh, so far so good. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Peace. Peace.